Thank you for joining me on Tennis Volley Talk, episode 29, actually. So I'm so pleased to be here with you today. Today, what I did is do an over the phone interview with a former Australian tennis player, Colin Robertson, that ended up going back to my roots, as I go back to my roots often in Oklahoma. That he ended up going to college in Oklahoma City University. He got there back in about 1968, back when I was about 13, 14, when I was starting my tennis playing days. And he also wrote a book about being in Oklahoma for as long as he was. And this is actually the over the phone interview that I had with him, and I'll let you listen to it. I'll pause, kind of let you know where I was and what I was thinking of what he's saying. And I hope that you enjoy. And I will pause and talk about where I was at. So here is the interview with Colin Robertson.
Thank you for joining me here back on Tennis Valley Talk. Today I am over on the phone with an interview with a Australian tennis player from Australia, Colin Robertson, that actually took a strange course of how when he was in college, he went all the way from Sydney, Australia, all the way to Oklahoma City, actually. That must have been a pretty culture shock for you back then in your days of playing. Back then I was probably about 13, 14, about the time you were starting to play your college years.
Yes, I was really hooked on tennis in Australia and playing as much as I could, and I started college in Australia, started university, and I found that university was hard, and I devoted a lot of time to it. Couldn't devote that much time to tennis, so when I heard about the scholarship where you could get a tennis scholarship and still go to university, I thought that made sense for me.
Oh yeah, for sure. And then to actually have all the opportunities that you grew up with, as far as being able to play and being because you kind of, like you said, and you mentioned in your book that you wrote, being in Oklahoma as long as you were, that when you learned and you started playing tennis, that you kind of learned the basic good strokes, where a lot of people just go out there and hit and never learn anything, never learn the right strokes. So that's kind of how you kind of got as good as you were.
Growing up in Sydney, tennis was kind of a way of life to learn some of the basics and go to a tennis school for a short period of time. Most people got exposed to tennis or cricket or rugby or some sports as they grew up. And for me, that happened when I was 13 or 14. A group of my friends from school decided to take tennis lessons. And fortunately, near where we lived, there was a big tennis school run by a man called Victor Edwards, who coached many great players, including Ron Gulagon, has quite a record. So I was lucky that I was at that school and got the advantages of being around a lot of good players and a lot of good coaches.
Oh, I'm sure. And in order to then, form that the tennis that you did, and then going into college, and then what the fact is that how all of a sudden, then some obscure college in Oklahoma piques your interest with the coach that decides, hey, do you know of anybody that might want to come on a scholarship? And you're going, well, I haven't been approached, but I think I'll try it.
Well, I had a part-time job with I think he was either secretary or president of the New South Wales Lawn Tennis Association. I had a part-time job with him. I was only on a Fridays ago. He was contacted by the All Sports Chamber of Commerce in Oklahoma City because they wanted to start a tennis program at Oklahoma City University. And they simply asked him if he knew of any high school kids graduating that might be interested in a college scholarship. And so he passed that information along to me, even though I was just starting university there.
So yeah, with that, he was just starting the university at that time. So he had it in the back of his mind the whole time with that also, in hopes to go and then be involved with that tennis program in Oklahoma City when he finally decided to go to Oklahoma City and on the tennis scholarship.
And it turned out that two players, myself and another boy called Brian Wilkinson, decided to follow up. And since Oklahoma City had written to us, we took a look at the schedule that they had, and I wrote letters then to several other schools on the schedule, and finished up getting 8 offers for full scholarship out of the 12 I wrote to.
Oh, sure, and that's really good. And then when you ended up going to Oklahoma City, I mean, you kind of went from hot to just as hot then too, so you're kind of used to it.
It was the middle of summer when I got there. Well, not quite the middle, late May, but and then it turned out to be over 100 within a few weeks. So it was definitely hot there.
Oh yeah, so kind of went to hot, or maybe hotter at times too. But yeah, no, I've with the parallel there with you going to Oklahoma City, I have very much of a parallel because myself, I'm from Tulsa, so myself, I grew up with a lot of the people that you were talking about, from Tulsa area. So I kind of have that parallel with that, being from Tulsa, and you talking about your Oklahoma City roots, and then going on and teaching at a club in Oklahoma City, and getting in, being able to grow the club like you did, and everything too. Myself, I was like when you mentioned the Shadow Mountain Racket Club.
So yeah, it was a parallel. Then he was talking about the Oklahoma City roots that he had, that he grew up with teaching tennis in Oklahoma City, running a club and tournaments there. But then as I was reading in his book that he had written, I was seeing a lot of the parallels. And like Shadow Mountain Racket Club, I grew up there watching and going and visiting Shadow Mountain Racket Club, even playing there a few times too. So it was always a fun time reading about the Tulsa parts that I knew well back in Tulsa.
Or the Tulsa Tennis Club. I've got very familiar with the Shadow Mountain for many years because 10 years in a row I was there at the BOK tennis tournament for 10 years in a row, and I have a slew of pictures of all the pros I took pictures of back then.
Okay, yeah. I wish I had known that before when I was writing my book, because I would have been able to get some more information and photos from you probably.
Oh yeah, I absolutely, and I could probably scan a few photos too and get them over to you and send them to you too.
I did get that one good poster with Jimmy Connors from a fellow in Tulsa who still had the original programs.
Oh wow, oh that is so
interesting. You brought up Shadow Mountain because a friend of mine was contacted to build that club, and he brought me in as a consultant on the project, and I invested in it, and I had about 20% ownership until he bought me out several years later.
Okay. That happened to be Jack Tyler, right?
Yes, correct.
Yeah, I remember.
No, I had met in Oklahoma City because he was attending Oklahoma University on a tennis scholarship.
Oh, sure. And I remember talking to Jack Tyler a lot. And just conversation too, and stuff when he was hanging around with the VOK and everything like that. But back then, it was such a small venue at Shadow Mountain that I was able to just kind of, even before the ATP tournament took hold and was there for a few years too, I was able just to kind of walk in there before they all started playing and watch the players practice. And it was just wonderful to be able to see that, in a casual setting like that too.
Well, it was such a good location in Tulsa. Tulsa was growing in that direction, and so that helped.
Yeah, and Tulsa was growing with the tennis clubs at that time. They had the few, like the Tulsa Tennis Club, and they had Tulsa Southern, not Tulsa Southern, but a few others a little further out in the south part of Tulsa. But yeah, there it was such a nice little setting for a tournament main court that it was all very intimate. And yeah, I think it was like a 3,000 or 5,000 seat venue, which was really nice because you could see up close with any seat that you had there at Shadow Mountain during a tournament or watching on the main court.
Oh, it sure did, absolutely. And then when you first mentioned your dear friend that you had a few over the years that you recruited from Australia to come play with you there at Oklahoma City University, and your dear friend Lindsay Straney, which I had the opportunity to actually talk to a little bit and see what I saw him hit a little bit, but I just it was kind of, but I just had the opportunity to see him work in the crowd with the BOK and everything like that, and it was just a wonderful just being able to talk to him on occasion too.
Yes, he was quite a character. And of course, I had to mention him a lot in my book.
Oh, absolutely, because you guys had some good adventures together too.
We traveled to Europe twice.
And they did have some adventures. Lindsay Straney invited Colin to go overseas to, I think it was Austria or can't remember from the book, but that was in another foreign country, but he rented a car and they drove all over to tournaments, that way. So yeah, it was really great that way. But, also I just wanted to invite you YouTubers that are watching this to actually subscribe to my channel, make comments, see where what you might want me to do later on to talk about, because I really like doing this. I want to keep continuing doing this. So if you want to give me some hints on who to try to get a hold of and see what I can do, I will certainly do that. Then also later in this, you're going to see the racket of the day, and this is for you podcasters out there. So if you do want to see what I'm talking about with the racket of the day, then you can certainly tune in to that and subscribe to my channel, and then do it that way, and you'll get to see the racket of the day if you want to go ahead and go to my YouTube channel, Tennis Volley Talk, and see what I'm talking about.
We grew up and played in Australia and traveled together. He was my roommate in college, so
oh, sure.
And
with that too, some of the stories with your stories in your book there, some of the little tidbits about the one gal that came in wanted to be taught lessons, and you kind of were going, well, yeah, you got good strokes, but yeah, you may want to lose a little bit too. So it's kind of like, what?
Didn't show a lot of tech.
And that was just so humorous in that respect too. And then about with that, then also what I really enjoyed too is your mention of, which I've actually had on one of my podcasts, over the phone interview with Cliff Price himself. I've known him for for 30 plus years.
Right.
And when I did a phone interview with him, and he talked all about how he got started with it and got started with the tennis shop and everything like that. And that was such a thing, but I didn't really actually, know that Nathan grew up with him going where he did, with that too. And that was an amazing story in itself to learn all about Nathan.
Right. Well, that's one of the reasons I did the book, to make sure a lot of people would remember the players from the past and the players from today. So
And so with that too, with the mention of Cliff Price and him starting Totally Tennis and how he got involved, when I read about his son Nathan and what he did, started out with Prince rackets, and then he went over to Wilson, and then he had the design to make many designs of rackets, and actually personally helped design Roger Federer's rackets that he was playing with. Amazing story in what Nathan has done in his life with tennis and growing up with tennis the way he did is really amazing in itself. To actually learn all of that from Colin's book of moving from Sydney to Oklahoma.
Tried to cover about 50 years of tennis in the state. And of course, that's a reflection of national growth. We went kind of a backyard sport and not very big to private clubs, indoor tennis, and growth of the USTA. It was quite a good story, I thought.
Oh, absolutely. And then also with your little, the Bobby Riggs story about you trying to hustle you. And that was really good too, because I had the opportunity to see World Team Tennis back in the day when it came. And that was actually just right after Bobby, about probably a couple, 3 months after Bobby had played Billie Jean King. And then he was there, happened to be there at Tulsa Convention Center, and I was watching the World Team Tennis, and I happened to sneak right down on court and was walking around, and there he was, kind of standing there in his sugar daddy coat, and I took a picture of him, and I still have that to this day.
Oh, that's great.
And to be able to have that picture too, and then I actually have, from the seats where I was at, where Chris Everett's being interviewed, and the lights are on her, the guys, and then her face is kind of talking to the guy, but you can tell it's Chris Everett, and I have a picture of that too. And a couple of autographs, Tom Gorman, and one of the autographs that probably not very many people have is Frank Hammond, one of the great referees of tennis in the day. And I have his autograph, and then I think I have, Tom Gorman, and then one of the Gullickson, Tom Gullickson, I think it is, that I have autograph from too. But I've had that opportunity to be able to go to a lot of different places and be able to take pictures at tournaments over the years, which I felt very blessed to be able to do. And with that too, with the one story that you had with the bubble in the book, though, because that's what we have here in Minnesota is the air inflated, blessed to be able to do. And with that too, with the one story that you had with the bubble in the book, though, because that's what we have here in Minnesota is the air inflated bubbles that form courts, that cover the courts, which is really nice too. And a lot of people just can't fathom that from places. A bubble over the court, what?
And you take it down in the summer, or leave it?
Yeah, some of them take it down in the summer. Some of the clubs that have it, they do have, and they put the bubble up, and then during the summer to have the outside courts, then they take it down. And they used to do that with a few of them, but a few of the little smaller clubs that have like 4, 5, 6 courts or whatever it is, in some of the suburbs, then what they keep it up year round, but during the summer they're just not.
And so me living in Minnesota, that's the way they do it in the wintertime in the smaller clubs. Some of the bigger clubs used to do that and used to put the bubbles up and then take them down in the summer so they'd have the outside courts. But now some of the smaller clubs that do that, they just keep the bubble up year round. During the summer, it does get a little bit warmer, so it's not as busy. But during the wintertime is when it really gets busy, and they do have the hitting sessions and all of that with the tennis playing with the people that go out there and want to do the drills and everything with that under the bubble.
It's busy during the summer.
It seems like a lot of the clubs are leaving up year round.
Yeah, and they leave them up year round, and just so that they can have an occasional summer somebody go in there and book a court or whatever, and everything too. And then with you formed such a tennis team to go 16-0 in a season, which is really good too.
Yeah, we had good teams.
Yeah, I'm sure you, and with all your the plants of your friends coming from Australia to play too, that could help too.
Yes.
And everything too. And then with the courts, and I'm sure that you probably grew up on and myself, because I have my stories with the old guys at the tennis court that I grew up with, that like Joey Williams, and he was a talker from Alabama, and Haywood Kelly, and all those guys that I grew up with. That I grew up on the old good old cement tennis court with the yellow lines and the chain link fence for a net. So I had to learn how to play on fast surface.
Yes.
And everything too. But with that, it just is amazing the correlation of you being in Oklahoma City, and then also me being in Tulsa, that growing up in my roots of growing up in the tournaments too at Tracy Park and at La Forge and at some of the other clubs around, which was really an experience with me to be able to do that through the years also.
Yeah, that was different times then.
Well, yeah, it was very different times back then too. With that, and with that too, I've just have really always, and I've always kept it up. I've been playing, I've been playing myself for 50 plus years. So, I may not have as the defined strokes as a lot of people, but I still hold my own on occasion. I still play singles too.
Yeah, and I still play singles whenever I do it. So, you YouTubers, if you still want to, subscribe and like, be sure and do that. Leave a comment of what you might want me to talk about. Would be more than happy to try to do that for you, with you. And for you podcasters out there, like I said, Racket of the Day is going to be coming up, so you'll be able to see what I'm talking about with Racket of the Day. And like and subscribe if you want to go to the YouTube channel to see what I'm talking about with the Racket of the Day. Leave a comment there also and see what you might want me to talk about, or whatever it might be you're thinking about this.
And to have that, that experience, and be able to, like what I do doing the YouTube tennis podcast, with the podcasters out there, and then being able to do Racket of the Day, and then also being able to have the podcasters listen and watch if they want to watch the YouTube, go see what I'm talking about with the Racket of the Day. Also, so I really do like that aspect too. And then when I came across the Newcomb and Rosewall poster, kind of reminds me of the Denver Tennis Club that I have the poster and it had Gonzalez, Parker, Tobin, and Rogers that played an exhibition at the Denver Tennis Club. The general admission seats whopping $1.50 to go in and get, but if you wanted ringside, that was $2 whole. And then the kids were 50 cents to get in, so, really expensive back then. But those names right there, to be able to go see those guys, that would have been a heck of a match or exhibition to see between those guys. Gonzalez and then, Tilden and how they hit, and Gonzalez, I hear, hit the ball hard too.
Yeah, well, he was a great volleyer.
Yeah.
Volley.
Oh, sure. And then poster kind of reminds me of the Denver Tennis Club that I have the poster for, and it had Gonzalez, Parker, Tilden, and Rogers that played an exhibition at the Denver Tennis Club. The general admission seats whopping $1.50 to go in and get, but if you wanted ringside, that was $2 whole.
Sorry for the repeat. I must have accidentally hit the go back 15 seconds or whatever. Sorry about that. So you'll hear a couple of those that happened once before and then this time. So sorry about that. But I'll keep going and let you listen.
The kids were 50 cents to get in, so, really expensive back then. But those names right there, to be able to go see those guys, that would have been a heck of a match or exhibition to see between those guys. Gonzalez and then, Tilden and how they hit, and Gonzalez, I hear, hit the ball hard too.
Yeah, well, he was a great volleyer.
Yeah.
Volley.
Oh, sure. And then, with that, it's just so wonderful to be able to have all those experiences and get something like that. Because if you didn't, or if I didn't get anything like that, who knows where that would have ended up? It would have ended up in the trash someplace. Like you with your poster and stuff. You relish to have those kind of things too.
I really searched around trying to find photos of Virginia Slims tournaments, and there were very few of them. The Virginia Slims events in Oklahoma City.
Oh, sure.
A bunch available.
Oh, sure, absolutely. And then, with the fact that of playing in the tournaments and having the overflow, like you were saying, that whenever you ran that one tournament that had like 700 entrants in it, that was great. And then when you say, hey, Frank, when you talk to Frank Wood, then he goes, oh yeah, we got 1,000 or more in ours. It's like, what? How in the heck did you do that? But he was a heck of a tennis organizer himself. And everything, and to be able to actually have an interview with him too, which I did, which was a fun interview to do too, and everything. But and then plus and then myself with the courts that I grew up on were at Nathan Hale High School in Tulsa too, and with that, like I said, the courts the way they were, but it was so. It was such a correlation to be able to read where I grew up with your stories that you had of Tulsa also. It just kind of really made the whole book so much more, so interesting to it with all the tidbit of stories that you had.
Yeah. Well, I put it together.
Oh, sure, absolutely. And being there and living in Oklahoma for as long as you did, was amazing in itself to be there as long but be able to go back and visit Australia too. But with that, it's always good to get back to home too. And I've been back to Tulsa a few times. And last October, I was able to go see women's regional tennis at Oklahoma State University for a day, which was unbelievably good. It was some great tennis to be played.
Yeah, that's an ability there.
Yeah, wonderful facility with the ones that you were showing in your book to and how they just how it was so upgraded for the tennis fans to be able to watch tennis and to see all the good tennis that's being played too is always great to be able to see that. But also, like I said, with the exhibitions and everything too.
Yeah, with the tennis clubs that grew that built more for tennis fans, for the enjoyment of the tennis fans. When I went to Oklahoma City to go see the women's regional tennis, that was such an amazing facility because they have 8 indoor courts and then they have 12 outside courts, but it's all built with bleachers. The courts are sunken down. So you're on the bleachers looking down at the courts, so you can see all the play that is being played, and what a great view that you have with playing or watching the play being done.
One of your ones that you were in the exhibition with Luca and Borg, and funny thing is that I was reading also that you were in a few others, and I think it was Borg and Newcomb and Rosewall and Roach, and then there was Nastasi and Garolitis, and I watched all 3 of those. The only other one was Tanner and Rosewall I didn't get to watch, but I watched all three of those exhibitions that you were in and playing the exhibition doubles. I watched live all 3 of those.
Wow. Right.
Myself. So that kind of gives you an idea where I was, back in the early 70s, but I was watching, and that was just a phenomenal thing to be able to see. And I got a few pictures of the Nastasi Garolitis match too. And the 2 other exhibition guys that were there were like Dean Paul Martin and Vince Van Patten too, that were very good tennis players in their own right. So, over the years I have pictures of WCT, and I have the picture of Garolitis with him holding the trophy and his dad standing next to him too. So kind of some good pictures that I've taken over the years that way. But, with that, it just is amazing to be able to have, that opportunity
and it has been an amazing opportunity for me to be able to get those pictures like I did over the years. But back then, it was a lot more relaxed than what it is now, with all the credentials that you have to have and prove that you're a media person and a photographer and all of that. But still, I was able to be able to do that. So you YouTubers, if you do like that and any of the stories like that, just watch, be sure and subscribe and like my channel, and also make a comment and see, what you might want me to do. And for, like I said, you podcasters, that racket of the day will be coming up real soon. And so if you want to take a look at the racket that I'm talking about, then be sure and go to my YouTube channel, Tennis Volley Talk. And subscribe and like and comment.
You said grow up in that era of tennis, that tennis was such a boom that you learned and you played once. And I feel that back then, people that got into tennis back then, actually, I feel that they just kind of got that bug and have always held on to that. And I've always played tennis since then. And a lot of people nowadays, they got into it in the late 80s, into the 90s, they got it. Oh, it's fun. Go out and play it, and it's great. But I'll go out and play, but they don't want to go out and play all the time like we did.
Yeah, he's done a good job of bringing a lot of players back into the sport.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's, I don't know how much growth they've caused, but it's been pretty fabulous, and I'm not sure that they're doing everything right, but I really like the fact being able to get out into the communities and encourage people that used to play to come back, form the team tennis. It's been been great for tennis.
Well, it sure has. And now you're living in the Virgin Islands, right?
Yes, Croy.
Yes, in Croy, okay. And then, to be there in nice weather all the time. So that's really good.
Yes.
That makes it really nice too. So, but yeah, if you don't mind, I can I'll get some pictures scanned to you, and I can get some off to you along with my cards. And if one of those cards happens to land in a tennis pro's hand, I don't mind.
Okay.
But yeah, I'll do that. But Colin, I so appreciate the time that you took with me to get the feel of how you grew up in tennis and what you did. And listening and reading the book was a joy, and it had some great stories in it. And
Thank you very much.
I do thank you so much for joining me on Tennis Volley Talk. And be sure to watch, like, and give some comments.
Thank you, Brian. Okay.
All right. Thank you so much, Colin.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Well, that was it with Colin Robertson. Great interview. So, yeah, YouTubers, you'll be able to hear that, and see it whenever I put it up. And then you podcasters, you'll be able to see Racket of the Day. So be sure to go to my YouTube, Tennis Volley Talk. Hello there.
Sorry about that. Just was experimenting with some things. Couldn't get the interview up right away, so then I finally found it, and I had to check and make sure I had it. So anyway, with that, today now, right now, you YouTubers going to be able to see the Racket of the Day. And then you podcasters, if you want to take a look at what I'm talking about with the Racket of the Day, then certainly go to my YouTube channel, Tennis Volley Talk, and then take a look at what I'm talking about. So subscribe and like and take it from there. But now for the Racket of the Day. Now, this is actually a Bancroft racket of Monte Carlo, the Bjorn Borg look here. With the racket by Bancroft. Now, the thing, this racket here, probably like in the mid 50s, 60s, in that era of rackets as they go. Borg used this racket. But anyway, the Bancroft was actually founded in 1882 and by an American, Frederick J. Bancroft, and called, and the brand was actually called after his surname, Bancroft. He started making wood rackets back in 1882 in his home, using white ash that he got from Vermont, because not only was it perfect because it was lightweight, but also very strong for ash too, back in the day. And then early 90s, business was booming, and he had over 200 employees in his manufacturing company, making tennis rackets, wood tennis rackets, all through that time in the early 1900s. And then a lot of pro players used Bancroft, or like Bill Tilden won Wimbledon with Bancroft. Billie Jean King used Bancroft. Also, Martina Navratilova used the Bancroft brand of that. But the most famous tennis player that played, of course, is Bjorn Borg. He actually had the Bancroft there. Bjorn from Sweden, of course, like Federer. But he also had another personal racket, the Denier racket, that he used also. after Bancroft. But this very nice racket here there. But, with that, Bancroft, then they were started to be on the decline in the late 1900s. And because of the interest of the wood rackets was not there anymore with that. And they didn't have the technologies as other companies did, such as the shape of the head that was going to be bigger, and that kind of improved the performance, or changing frame wood to graphite. They did not have the tools and to make the change to do anything more better with any rackets too. And then going the companies, the newer companies were born and started to get more popular and push Bancroft out of the market with making more composite and fiberglass rackets and all of that. So this is a very good racket here, and I hope you enjoy it. But you YouTubers, you see it. You podcasters, if you want to take a look at it, go to my YouTube channel and like and subscribe for both of you. And leave a comment and let me know what you think of what you want me to do or whatever. But I do thank you very much for listening again today. And all this, we've still got places that are going to have the remaining bit of the summer circuit going on. And get out there and play if it's a nice day through the week this week. And thank you very much, and have a great week playing. Thank you.